morning, Wrestling Inc. It's your managing editor of WrestlingInc.com, Nick Hausman. Sorry, what a thing just happened there. As I hit the button, it said, "You've run out of space. This will not be recorded. It will go live." That's fine. I know how to pull the video. I'll still get it, but it was really jarring. That's why I looked completely blank-faced there the first second and a half of this recording.
That's so funny. I was like, "Uh-oh, what happened?" And you're like, good morning."
Oh no.
EJ, we're going. We're live.
We're live. We're doing this. Okay. Well, hey, you know what? I'm optimistic that I will be able to pull this in to the podcast version of the show. Very optimistic. But if for whatever reason that doesn't happen, hey, you saw us here live. This is our little thing, right? What a time capsule moment. I love it. I am Nick Hausman. He's Second City Chicago's EJ Cameron. The chat room is open. Nicholas here. Good morning, Nick and EJ. Samantha, good morning, Nick and EJ. We have Charles Dowd. Good morning, Pokemon Go friends. You still haven't jumped on the Pokemon Go train with me.
You know, I have not. I have not yet.
It's all right. It's not for everybody. I don't want to force my life on you. You're not my child.
One day I'll pick it up.
Okay, yeah. Your grandfather was a Pokemon Go trainer. I'm a Pokemon Go trainer. You'll die a Pokemon Go trainer.
It's like, Granddad, what did you do for fun? We walked around staring at our phones outside and catching Pokemons.
God damn, we were so good at it, pal. I low-key hope Vince McMahon, like, huge Pokemon Go fan, plays all the time.
So he's in the backstage, like.
So, as Lady was said here, happy Tuesday, everybody. Eddie McDonald, good morning. Yeah, we have a lot of chats going on here today. Very lively last 24 hours of pro wrestling news. We'll get to that here in just a moment. Before we get to anything, I want to send our best out to Ace Austin and Gia Miller, who lost their home to a fire late Sunday night, early Monday morning. I can't exactly tell when they called it out. They set up a GoFundMe. You can go help them out. This is crazy because I just saw Ace Austin in action at Warrior Wrestling on Saturday night, and this totally just scared me to my bones when I saw that this happened just 24 hours later that he lost his house. I don't know if you saw, there was a big fire in my neighborhood recently, EJ, about a block from. Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, very similar building to mine, actually, layout-wise. So, it's definitely something that I've been thinking about, how, you know, the dangers of fires. I'm so just heartbroken to hear they're dealing with this right now. And Ace is a really good guy, even though I know he plays kind of a scuzzy scumbag on TV sometimes. But if you could support them, I would really encourage you to do so. All right. So this show here today, what are we going to do? Great question. We're going to do the Wrestling Inc. Daily. We've got news, and on the other side of the news, you're going to get to hear the full audio from my conversation with Chris Van Vliet. Chris talks to a lot of famous wrestlers, celebrities, everything like that. We're going to talk to him about that. What's going on with the world of pro wrestling? He was briefly with AEW. He showed up as part of their very first show, a part of that great Kevin Smith, Jason Mewes segment that was a part of the first episode of Dynamite. So a kind of a late update on like what's Van Vliet's status like with AEW, but I really enjoyed this conversation. We wound up going a little longer than usual. It's about 45 minutes. So enjoy that today. And, of course, the video will be up on the YouTube channel. It should be up at 1 Eastern, but maybe a little later today. We'll see. Check it out there. And at the end of the show, for everybody, we'll dive in the mailbag. We're looking at a possible gimmick change for Alexa Bliss, but let's get to it. News you can use. News that will leave a bruise. And I'm doing the cowbell here because we got big news here today, EJ. So just this morning, I was on the news shift. Like the biggest news item we had was Shane Helms disputing.
Bless you.
Had to sneeze. Shane Helms disputing this report from WrestleVotes that all anybody was talking about last night at Monday Night Raw was these Dynamite or these Rampage versus SmackDown numbers that came out from this past Friday night. This is a very big buzzy thing right now, EJ. And Shane Helms had to come out and say, I don't believe that's what we were talking. Of course, it's what everybody's talking about right now, right?
Yeah, but I could. Part of me wants to believe that. I could see them not mentioning it and talking about the other side, AEW. I could see them just being like, "All right, how did we do? Great. What are we doing tonight?" and they do so many rewrites, and Vince is changing things so much. I could imagine that that's not what they're talking about.
Maybe, I don't know. So here's why I say it was probably buzzy backstage. So, Show Buzz Daily saying Friday's live WWE Supersize SmackDown did 866,000 viewers on FS1. They weren't on Fox, where they usually do millions of viewers, right? SmackDown was number 3 in the cable top 150. Still very good, I felt like, for being moved over to FS1. 0.24 key demo, 32 overall for the night on cable and viewership. Then you flip over to Show Buzz Daily, which they also say Friday's live AEW Rampage did 578,000 viewers, so less viewers than SmackDown. They rank number 4 for the night in the cable top 150, which is really close to SmackDown, up from number 15 where they were the week before. But to compare WWE to AEW, SmackDown and Rampage, they tied with a 0.24 rating in the 18 to 49 key demo. Now, PW Torch, they jumped in and saying while Rampage tied SmackDown in the 18 to 49 demo with 0.24, they also tied WWE in the 18 to 34 demo. AEW also picked up a narrow win in the males 18 to 49, 0.34 to 0.32. WWE topped the males 12 to 34, so children, 0.2 to 0.16. They both tied 0.1 females 12 to 34. AEW topped WWE and 18 to 34, 17 to 15. They both tied in the 25 to 54 demo with a 0.28, while WWE easily topped AEW in the 50-plus demo, 0.43 to 0.21. So AEW continues to dominate with the older demo. But the big takeaway from this, the thing that probably got people talking, I would imagine, maybe I'm wrong, but the 30-minute overlap from 10 p.m. to 10:30 p.m. Eastern, which ran commercial-free on FS1 and over on TNT, that saw AEW draw 328,000 viewers to WWE's 285,000 viewers in that 18 to 49 demo. It should not be lost here that CM Punk, Matt Sydal opened up AEW Rampage, and that was what you got there going head-to-head with WWE. And CM Punk, by, I don't want to say the skin of his teeth, because like 40, 50,000 is still pretty sizable, but CM Punk wins. He beat him in the key demo, the most valuable demo, it would seem.
And didn't they say at I saw it trending yesterday, it was Ruby Rojo versus the Bunny that went up against Lesnar Reigns.
Yeah, exactly. And they did dead even. Like, I was looking at the quarter hours this morning, and like Punk Sydal was like way higher than SmackDown. Like, I think it was like, again, a good chunk. I think that's these numbers I read just right here. It was like by the end of that last quarter, they went toe to toe, the Bunny and Ruby Soho there with Reigns Lesnar. I mean, it is still a large difference overall. Like in the large, there's still like 200,000 or so. But like as far as like the finger on the pulse of younger viewers, the money spending viewers largely, AEW has that. They could notch that on their belt right now, and I have to think walk away feeling pretty good about what happened here on Friday night.
I think they are. I think Tony Khan has made it known.
Very clear. Yes, he tweets and talks a lot, and I'm not complaining. Tony, please, again, you are literally paying my bills right now with everything you're saying. I do not want to dissuade Tony Khan from saying whatever he wants to say, but yeah, you're right. We have definitely heard from Tony in the wake of this.
Yeah, he's been very excited, and it's brought, people out. Bischoff's come out and said things about it, like just shut up and wrestle, all that type of things. I think it's cute. I think it's cute that he's so excited and like active, because that is what the culture is today. And it takes one thing from Vince to make this a little bit more fun. It's fun now, but just go ahead and just go for it. Why not? Have some fun with it.
Yeah, I just love how this is because, like, it was an interesting play by WWE wanting to even do the thing. And again, on the last Pro Wrestling for Life with Waltman, he was talking about like, we don't even know if this was like Vince's call or if somebody at USA or somebody at Fox who like grew up a wrestling fan and is now an executive. It's like, I want him to go head to head. I want to see what we could do up against that. I mean, maybe Vince's hand, maybe we don't know whose call it was to do this half hour. I mean, it would seem WWE was making, we don't know that, but the buy-in, the response on Rampage, that was all on Tony Khan firing back against whatever forces were coming at him. And, for a scalded dog in the corner, I thought he responded pretty well in this situation.
Okay, JR.
I'm just
like
saying.
A scalded dog in the corner.
Scalded dog, first of all. I think they would both work. Look, we do a pro wrestling news show. If I don't get to say fun pro wrestling things as part of the news show, why are we even doing the show, EJ?
That's true. That's true.
I was on you like a pack of dogs on a three-legged cat there, all right? I will stop a mud hole dry in you right now, EJ.
Okay, all right. Gonna mollywop.
Mukbang. Wow, pull the string. Buy the ticket. Take the ride. All right, so that is... Kristen Jones, is it scalded or scolded? Great. Terrible imagery either way, says Kristen, and you're right. Is it scalded or scalded? In the corner, like a scolded, you scolded the dog, or a scalded, like you threw hot water. Both are awful.
That's
right?
all. Yeah, I always heard scalded, and that's what I thought it was. I was like, ew, who's just throwing hot water at dogs?
And I don't want to go too down the rat, but like pack of dogs and a three-legged cat, like what happened to that cat, and why are all these loose dogs left to fight this cat?
I like to imagine that the dogs are all hot dogs. It makes it feel better, like a scalded hot dog. I'm like, yeah, put it on a bun. A pack of hot dogs on a three-legged cat. That three-legged cat's gonna eat. It has a pack of hot dogs on it.
You're right. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
there's a better image for you.
You are definitely of Chicago. You know what?
No ketchup over there.
I have taken your terrible imagery and replaced it with hot dogs in my head. Welcome to Chicago. All right. So that's the ratings talk. I saw somebody up here, I think it was MCAT, said, what is this WrestleNomics? But yeah, exactly. Yeah. What is this, WrestleNomics? No, we're not.
Word life.
They do help to inform our punditry here. I would encourage you to subscribe to WrestleNomics Patreon. Get all your news updates. I don't know that you know that WrestleNomics is a real website that reports the news and the numbers, EJ.
Oh, I did not. I thought that was a John Cena lyric.
No. WrestleNomics, great group.
That's Hustlenomics.
Yeah, that's Thugonomics.
Thugonomics. That's
Thugonomics.
Well, I'm about to start my Hustlenomics then.
Okay. Sell a shirt. Lead into it. All right. We had on Monday Night Raw last night. I think Monday Night Raw once again was just kind of like for me as we're rolling into Crown Jewel. Goldberg once again threatening the life of Bobby Lashley, right? What is happening here?
Well, I was like, they're hitting it a little too hard. I know somebody told him to say that, and he is hitting it way too hard. He's like, I'm gonna kill you, and then I'm gonna strangle you. Sorry to your kids, because they're not gonna have a dad. And I'm like, all right, well,
Goldberg,
especially when going to start.
Yeah, I think Goldberg's just been watching a lot of Squid Games.
He's sitting there watching Who's Next.
Bobby Lashley, I challenge you to a game of marbles. You know how this works.
But he would be the one forgetting. You know how many times banged his head on a locker? He's like, spoiler alert. Sorry, y'all.
Okay. Goldberg, Lashley, Squid Games in the desert. Think about it, okay? So the big news for me coming out of the show on Raw last night was the King of the Ring Queen's Crown finals. We now know it's going to be Finn Balor versus Xavier Woods, who I was really kind of surprised the way it played out. I'll get to it in a second, but we also found out Zelina Vega, Doudrop, that's going to be the finals for the Queen's Crown. I thought the Woods winning was really well done. I thought that Mahal, I already just thought Mahal was going to win because Mahal versus Balor seemed like big evil outside guy versus Finn Balor. I don't know. I just didn't see the spot. Not that I'm upset about it. But they also did this little thing where before the match, Kofi was in the interview area, and he was talking about how he was going to go to his be there. He's going to be by his friend's side. He knows how important this King of the Ring thing is to him. And I, for a half second, was like, is Kofi going to turn on Woods tonight? Like, I thought there was a little setup there. So there was just a lot going on. And by the end of it, I was double wrong. He beat Mahal. No turn from Kofi. Xavier Woods just wins with an awesome springboard elbow drop. It looked awesome.
Amazing. The slow-mo was great.
and his stare down with Balor, even if he doesn't become king, he's already he's already better for this, being elevated to now can be considered, in that category. Win or lose, this tournament has elevated Woods. It's been really nice to see too.
Xavier's winning. I'm calling it. I was
You
calling it
think
last week. Yes. This whole King of the Ring, he's been on Twitter talking about the King of the Ring for years. Like, he's been challenging Balor not Balor, Corbin for the King of the Ring. He talks about how that's what got him into wrestling. It's like a full circle thing. He's going to win. He's probably going to be some crazy king gimmick, which is going to be dope and awesome. And it's going to be fun.
Here's the thing. I think it is bad luck to put on the king and or queen's robe.
Me too.
Before you have won the tournament. Have we seen Finn really like put on the cape and the crown yet? I don't know that we've had that visual.
No, but could you see him in it?
I mean, look, what they do with Finn as king is, the look will change.
I'm sure.
Right.
But they could put him in that Sheamus gimmick. They're like, you're Irish, put this on again. But I can't see Finn Balor in a robe and a crown. That doesn't, even though he's been like the prince and all this other type of thing, I can see Xavier wearing a robe and crown and going full tilt, just all the way to like 20 with it. And he could go as far as he can in cartoon with it. And we're going to buy it because it's Xavier Woods and the New Day.
Yeah, no, I agree with you, but I feel like I don't know. Like, I don't know that they're going to give you what you want here with Xavier Woods. I think that the Finn reinvention from Prince to King, I don't know. It's not a sure thing for me with Xavier.
Unless Finn goes heel.
I got the vibe Finn was going heel at the end there when he ripped the scepter away and kind of got in Xavier's face, and Kofi had to come out, and Xavier had like he's like, you're going to be known as the artist formerly known as when I'm done with you, because he's Prince Fitz Balor. I really like that line for whatever.
That's a banger line.
It was. I was like, I felt the moment there. I liked the chemistry between these two, so I'm just really happy. And with Doudrop, Zelina Vega, I think Queen Doudrop is on her way. I could see Vince. She looks like a kind of Nickelodeon character, this queen. She's bright and fluffy, and she's got the big crown. And I don't know. Where are we going to go with Doudrop from here? The Eva stuff has played out.
I think I see Zelina winning. That's who I would put it on. Have her be like a short, angry, like Queen of Hearts type deal. She likes to cosplay and dress up. Maybe it's them making up for, when they were in New York for the anniversary of 9/11 and they cut her match. Maybe. I could see her getting a faction and being a mad queen and beating people up.
I think it's bad luck to put the crown and the cape on. I think it's a way for WWE to get the visual of you as king or queen without actually giving you, because we didn't see Finn put it on. We didn't see Doudrop put it on. We saw their opponents already assuming the throne. I feel like that, maybe a beginning of a heel turn for a king, Finn, who has felt disrespected for so long, in the beginning of a bright, flowery Queen Doudrop run over on the other side. I think that's where this goes. I know. It's like, hey, we all want Xavier Woods to win, but he put the crown and the cape on. It's like he's cursed it. It's cursed now.
Yeah. The only person who's done that historical fact, Napoleon.
Wonderful.
That's why I'm going with Zelina winning it. He put the crown on. I mean, then anyway, we'll talk about that later. That's a little history. But yeah, I don't know. I'm going for the inverse.
Fair enough. Well, at WrestleVotes reporting, the current plan is to shift Karrion Kross's character on the main roster once again. The idea is for Kross to be more of a psycho, yet still calm and cool character. It was noted that the Gladiator helmet staying for now, but for some reason, still not bringing Scarlett up to the main roster, with Kross, the former NXT champion, also due for another change to his entrance, including new theme music. They've recycled him completely. They're starting over, it sounds like.
Man, it is frustrating because the thing is, it was working in NXT. He was working in the Indies, and they come up and they go, let's make you do this, and wear a gladiator outfit and wrestle in this, and you're going to lose in your first match.
I don't know. It's just like this is always it's so hard to jumpstart momentum, right? I think like there's glaring examples, like of times you've done it and it's worked, right? Like Steve Austin was the ringmaster, which was going nowhere,
Yes.
and then they just threw the restraints off, and he became Stone Cold Steve Austin, right? The Rock was Rocky Maivia. Fans rejected that, right? Just kind of threw it all to the wayside, let the guy reinvent himself. But I think if that's going to be the case, just like those cases I just mentioned, the reinvention has to come from Kross, right? I think the Dave in here, we stand calm psychos. That actually right? Like that plays to his strength, right? That's who he is best as. I get where how we got to the gladiator thing. He started doing the little gladiator tassels in NXT. It was a nice hint, but like Vince took the parsley and said, "This is dinner," and made us all eat a bunch of parsley.
That's exactly it.
Took the steak away, right? The part that we really liked about it, the rest of the presentation.
Here's a cilantro salad. Eat it.
Okay. All right.
All right.
Did everybody watch Vince make Michael Cole eat that bowl of cilantro backstage? That was very uncomfortable.
It's weird. He hates cilantro.
Really weird. So anyway, I think that's my final thought. It's just I hope that whatever happens here with Kross comes from Kross. I don't know what's going on with the Scarlet things. I mean, you could speculate all day. A very interesting choice for sure, but it's got to come from within, right? It can't just be a coat of paint. So
yeah.
Right,
I hope it's him. I hope it's his thing.
So lastly here from Fightful, top MLW star Filthy Tom Lawler leaving MLW. His 2-year contract expiring soon. He's finishing up with the company. He's done with MLW as of now. At the recent casket match, that was a way to effectively write him out of storylines. The match saw Lawler lose the MLW Caribbean Heavyweight Champion, or lose to MLW Caribbean Heavyweight Champion King Muertes at Fightland taping in Philly. There was still some time left on his contract, but it's going to expire before their next tapings. So for all intents and purposes, Tom Lawler could wind up anywhere. Now, MLW has done a really good job of taking talents, getting them TV ready because Court's worked in WWE. Like, it's not exactly the same production always, but the same concepts and, kind of rules are applied there. Tom has been with MLW, I think, for 5 or 6 years now. He has really found his voice, found what works for him. I think he's like 38 now, so he's a little bit older. He would be great in NXT. I think Timothy Thatcher's still there. I don't know where Thatcher is, but like Kross is there. Harry Smith is over in WWE. A lot of the guys that he came up with that he knows he can work with are there. I don't know how he fares in an AEW. I mean, he's got his finger on the pulse as far as like knowing how to appeal to indie fans, but like his style is a little more ground and pound, a little less flashy than I think a lot of the other style people in AEW. So I don't really know what's next for Tom. I thought about it. I couldn't really pick. I mean, maybe he keeps with New Japan. He seems happy there,
That's an option. Yeah, I don't really. And Bryan Danielson's doing the ground and pound thing, and they have Suzuki. So I would put him in New Japan, or maybe the NWA Power.
So I see Dave in here. Filthy Tom joining America's Top Team. That would be great. Yeah, as Randy Sam here saying the same thing. I hadn't even really thought about that, but yeah, Tom working with Dan Lambert. I think they actually both worked in MLW together as well. I think there was like a Team Filthy American Top Team. They never, were like formally together, but the two factions like worked together. So yeah, I actually think that's a wonderful idea. And that group, could use a real shoot like Ethan and Scorp. I like both those guys, but they're not really like MMA guys. They don't really like fit in necessarily with America's Top Team.
Yeah, they're good. They're a bit more flashy. I think he'd bring the right amount of filth to the team. Ooh, look at that. Oh.
All right, EJ, thank you for joining me at the top of the show to talk all the news of the day. Thank you to everybody who jumped into the chat room here today. The full audio version will be up here in just a little while, including the interview I did with Chris Van Vliet, and that should already be up over on the Wrestling Inc. YouTube channel as well. So that'll take us over to the mailbag at Wink Daily, WINC Daily. That's the account to follow if you want to vote in our daily polls. Today's poll question: what version of Alexa Bliss would you like to see when she returns to WWE TV? Is it the authentic, original Twisted Bliss persona, or do you want to see the Fiend Alexa Bliss character return, or do you want to see something else? So over 200 votes here, 68.6% want to see old Alexa Bliss, Twisted Bliss back. 17.3 say, give me more of the Fiend Alexa Bliss. That's what I want. More Lily, right? And then 14.1, they say something else, other write-in, different idea for Alexa Bliss. Let's talk about it, EJ. What do you want to see Alexa Bliss do when she returns to TV?
I voted Twisted Bliss. I think that was the closest to herself. And I feel like if she changed, I would like to see that. I don't know what she could possibly change into unless it's straight up street clothes. This is who I am. I'm Alexa Bliss, and be that person. Whatever it is, I don't want to see the Fiend thing anymore.
Yeah, right.
I'm absolutely good on that.
I think I want to see Twisted Bliss back. I think I'm with everybody. I think I want to see a return, but I want to like forget about the Fiend stuff for like 1.5, 2 years, and then one day somebody like drops something on her backstage or like does her wrong, and then as they're leaving, like a door panel falls over right behind them or something, you know?
Yeah.
And you're like, wait, what? Like, you know, and you get kind of hints of it, you know?
It could be like her Cactus Jack, like every so often she might have to bring it out. It'll be like her Demon Balor or something, you know, the lights go weird. She, you know, her eyes change colors. Yeah. Sure, every so often. But I don't want her to come back as that and have to like work around that again. I don't know. I was fine with it. It was fine.
Yeah, and you know, the thing is like Alexa pre-Fiend, you know, it had kind of worn out, and I think people were ready to see her do something new. And I was also very excited when she started doing all this stuff because it was like, yeah, let's give Alexa Bliss something to play with here. But a return, like it's, you know, I use the analogy a lot of like the Coca-Cola Classic, right, where they did New Coke. They're like, we got to compete with Pepsi, so they changed their 100-year-old formula, and then they started giving people New Coke, and everyone was like, oh, I hate New Coke. And then they were like, well, we're going to do Coca-Cola Classic. We're just going to go back to the old recipe. And they wound up selling like 5 times more Coke because people had forgotten how much they really liked Coke. And when you change Coke, they were like really upset about it. I think I could see something similar here where it's like, since we haven't seen Alexa in a while, right? And they took away Alexa and they gave us this new Alexa that we all did not like. If you give them back Alexa, you know, she's a much more malleable character to like kind of flip back and forth, baby heel, depending on the story. And there's a lot more women right now that are malleable, you know, that can kind of work. Like Charlotte can kind of, you know, have real human emotions. Becky can have real human emotions. Sasha, Bianca, right? It's a lot of 3-dimensional characters. I want to see Alexa back in that space, if that makes sense.
Absolutely. That is how I'm feeling as well. That is where her money was. I like the Coke analogy. Because it's like you introduce the problem and we're like, oh, I don't like this enough. So when it goes back, we're like, yes, please. And she also doesn't need to do the coffee gimmick either. I remember they were making that a thing. I think that was our thing. We just wanted to see her wrestle and like get on the mic, but she was like having these sit down coffee talks like Piper's Pit. And I was like, why? I don't want this interview. Why is this happening?
Yeah, and by the way, Daniel Price, absolutely correct. Nick Hausman really loves the Coke story. This is like the 10th time he's used it as a metaphor. And you're right. I will try to find a new metaphor. I'll find some kind of pokey-based metaphor, Daniel. Would that be better? Like some kind of, you know, they gave us the 5-kilometer distance around Pokestops, and then they restrained it back to 2, and we all rioted. Now we got it back to 5K. Doesn't quite have the same ring to it, but, you know, you get it. So anyway,
you're gonna be like, how about she's like Coke Zero? Okay, same flavor, great taste, less calories. It's like, Nick, do you work for Coca-Cola?
Me?
Pulls off a mustache.
It's me, Richard Cola.
No.
So I love these write-ins here, by the way. Rob Humphrey, I drink Diet Pepsi. We have MCAS, Pepsi Forever, Supersonic X. I like regular Coke. Danny Cochran, it's the new Coke Pokemon podcast hour. Michael Thomas Banshitz, Dr. Pepper Cherry is the hit. We have Dave N. Vanilla Coke is based. I don't even know if that's good or not. But a lot.
They're like, yes, it is based.
Is that a TikTok thing? All right. Anyway, that's it. All right, we're wrapping up the show here today, everybody. I want to thank EJ once again. I want to thank Chris Van Vliet. Always a pleasure, Chris. We will definitely have you back. I'll be back tomorrow. I'm going to be joined by Brian Wool. We will also have on the show Scott Fishman, his conversation with QT Marshall as our lead into AEW Dynamite tomorrow night. So very happy to have QT back on the show as well as Scott. If you like the Wrestling Inc. Daily, support WrestlingInc.com. We're on all your socials. And, of course, the Wrestling Inc. podcast goes live at night after the big shows, including tonight after NXT, tomorrow after Dynamite. Go check all of that content out. Subscribe on your preferred podcast platform as well. EJ, what do you want to put over here to wrap up the show today?
What's up, y'all? Give me a follow if you want. I'm at EJ_Cam19. Always telling you, be nice to people, be kind out there, and be safe. It's a lovely fall day out. Go get some sun before winter comes. Oh, no AEW tomorrow.
Yeah, no AEW. AEW not on TV tomorrow. Sorry, I was just putting that up on the screen because I was wrong. I forgot.
Yeah, and, be kind. Enjoy your lives and your days. Take care. We're being spammed.
I'm just flashing back and forth, right? Oh, entering the conversation, Elizabeth. Dynamite is Saturday. So, again, AEW not on tomorrow. No AEW tomorrow. Dynamite is Saturday. I don't know why I'm such an idiot. All right. You're all great. I'm at Nick_Hausman on Twitter. I'll talk to you tomorrow. And remember, if you winked,